Hello everyone. Today I'm going to make an update video, and the purpose of this video is really just because I'm about to go downstate to Ann Arbor, and this is a better time than any. I realize it's just been a month since my last video, and I've decided I'm going to make it because it's just such a nice time. I'm kind of a little bit tired. It's 2 a.m. right now. Yes, it's very, very late, Steven. 2 a.m. My God. It's kind of a spur-of-the-moment type video right now. Just a couple things that have been bothering me. I really want this video to be, a big update, though. I'm gonna make it about a lot of topics. I'm really gonna try to open up in this video. I want, the subscribers that I do have to know maybe some things that they didn't really quite know about me. It's not going to be too negative, and hopefully not. It's gonna be very truthful to how I feel. It's gonna be basically an update video of where I'm at right now, psychologically, mentally, physically, blah 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 blah. First, I'd like to really start off by saying I'm not perfect. Okay, I do make mistakes, and I think what I'm really trying to say here is that I'm a person who feels like they'll go out of their way for other people, and I will go out of my way for other people. I'm very prone to giving second, third, fourth, you name it, how many ever like chances. But lately I really realized something. I realized something quite big. People really don't like to forgive other people. And it's kind of a problem for me because I'm a very gullible person. People can lead me on very easily. I can be led on very easily. And when the time comes, they're not really ready to budge, if you know what I'm saying. Versus, I'll give you an example. It's kind of like this. The way I see it is there's two people in the world. People that get friends and people who make friends. Now, the people who make friends, they're not going to be the people who are getting calls. They're not going to be the people who will just sit there and people will come up to and talk to them. They're not approachable people. They're just not. And then there's the other type of people. You can describe them as extroverts, popular, hell, I don't know, whatever fits your vocabulary. Now those people, for some reason, it's not even that they're necessarily more approachable than other people. It's oftentimes they're not even more friendly than people who go out and have to make friends. But the thing that makes them different from people who make friends and people who get friends is they get friends. And that's as simple as that. If they have no trouble like getting anyone to hang out with them for the day. People call them up, people text them. And you could say, yeah, it's maybe because they're more popular and blah 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 and so forth. Or maybe it is because they're extroverts, but stick with those two classifications of people. Now for the moment, and for my whole life, I've been a part of the I have to go out and make friends people type of person. And I kind of realized something quite recently, is that I don't like to be in that subgroup. You know, I want people to be friends with me because I want to be friends with them and they want to be friends with me. There's kind of a basis of equality missing when you have to go out and you have to like really struggle to make friends. And you could say that's because, oh, I have ADHD, but, you know, I've had my share of friends. The problem is I've lost them all. And one of the main things that's happened recently, more Facebook drama, and there's been a lot of it. And the thing is I love Facebook. It's just, I'll get into that later though, but, basically all you need to know is, oh, I've lost more friends, it seems. Just because I don't want to get on my I want them to apologize to me. Because it feels like, and this is true, that I go out of my way to almost always apologize. And I'm getting sick of it, people. I really am. Like, this, it pisses me off that I go out of my way and I apologize, and, you know, it's like something goes on in the brain when you apologize. It tells people one of two things. The first thing it tells them is that they're right. The second thing it tells them is that, you know, they're the more dominant person. Like, if they were right, you were wrong. And, you know, I'm the one who has to accept the consequences, so to speak. And that's not really what... You're not grasping the idea of an apology. An apology is a consensus of sorts, where you come together and compromise and you want to discuss it like actual adults. And the problem is some people obviously don't have an emotionally developed frontal lobe, or I don't know what it is, just their frontal lobe obviously isn't developed enough. That's the only reason I can think of, but they get these ideas in their head that they're right and you're wrong. And that's not what an apology is about. You know, the next big topic I'd really like to talk about is, I want to know, like, am I mean? Like, it's okay if I am. When I was a child, they used to call my... You guys know I'm an identical twin, so those of you that don't know, you know, I know I discussed it earlier in the video, but they used to call me Mean Steve, and they used to call my brother Slow Joe. And, you know, I don't think I'm mean. I'm a brash person. I like to speak my mind. I feel like I take a lot from my friends, and I give them a lot of shit, you know. I think the biggest problem is that when they're not my friend anymore, I don't want to budge, you know, because I'm sick of budging. I'm sick of budging in their direction. It always seems like I'm the one who has to come back and apologize. And, you know, if our friendship was that good, then we can't just talk it out, you know. I have to go, I have to be the one that apologizes. I mean, like, I have to come crawling on my hands and knees saying, like, oh, you're such a good friend, blah, blah, you know. There's that classification again. I have to make friends and other people get friends, you know. And, like, there's a fine line here, too. If some people aren't really, you know, piecing the ideas together. It's not the fact that people who get friends don't have to walk up to people and be like, oh, hey, what's your name, blah, 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 you know, nice to meet you. Maybe we should hang out. You know, that's not the point, because people who get friends and people who make friends both have to do that. The difference is who's coming off as more approachable. Like, who's going to be the person after you've made the friend? This is both sides I'm talking about. Who's going to be the person that's going to call the other person? Is it going to be the person who has to make the friends? Like, am I going to have to call the person? Chances are 90% of the time, yes. Now, for the people who get friends, they get the calls. Because I guess they're just that much more approachable. And that's the problem I'm having. You see, I burst out inappropriate things, alright? But that's because I have ADHD. And there's no explaining that to people. There's not really explaining, oh man, you know, you can't just do that. You know, it's kind of like ignorance of the law is no excuse. So if you know, you could go to people and you say, oh, I have ADHD and I blurt things out. But the moment you blurt something out in front of them, you know, too late. You've kind of already crossed the line. I mean, you could say that, oh, I have ADHD and that's why I blurt things out. It still wouldn't really rescind what happened. You know, I'm brash. I'm a brash person. I like to say what I want. I like to swear. I like to be very vocal in what I say. Yeah, that's pretty much it, actually. I'm a vocal person. I like to say what I want. It's honestly not my finest quality. Oh, the best quality I have is saying what I want. I try to say, you know, I guess the most attention-grabbing thing. It's almost always not the best thing to say. But, you know, I hate dull conversations, if you know what I mean. You know, I don't like the dull conversations like, hello, how are you? What do you do for work? Blah, 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 blah. But anyway, the problem is like, how I was saying, it's almost always the wrong thing to say. Well, it almost always is the wrong thing to say. And then that's the problem. At that point, it's gone. Because, as usual, once you've crossed that line, there's no really, convincing another person. Like, this isn't a movie. Okay, charisma works in one way, and that's persuading people to do something. If you can understand that. There's no persuading a person. In fact, I don't even know why they call it persuasion, because persuasion isn't really what it is. It's convincing a person that they want to do something. Okay? No one's gonna do anything unless they want to do it. And that goes for anyone in the whole world. You know, it's a game of loss. And a game of loss is, think of it a lot like a conquest type ordeal, okay? You're an army and I'm an army, okay? And we're fighting over a state. And now you may be asking, what's the point of conquest? And what is this loss you're speaking of, Stephen? This loss is, if I let you, the opposing army, take something, it's a loss. Now, why is it a loss? It's a loss because there could have been something to gain from it. I didn't actually lose anything, if you think about it. I'm still making the same amount of money from my other areas that I have under my control, but that was a potential area I lost. Now, I didn't actually lose anything. Nothing really went to the opposing army, but I count it as a loss because there was potential gain there. So you see what I'm saying? You can't actually persuade a person. You have to convince them that it's in their best interest to do what you want to do. To do what they want to do. Okay? The art of persuasion is all about convincing the person they had the right idea all along. And then that's persuasion in a nutshell. I'm not saying I can persuade people. I'm just saying I say brash things. And at that moment in time, it's not quite as easy to persuade them that what you said was, you know, the wrong thing, or it's not easy, you know, saying you have ADHD and saying you blurted out the wrong thing only works, you know, a few times. Anyway, moving on to, and then the whole topic I'm talking about, which is, how am I mean? Afterwards, you know, I feel really regretful. You know, this is like after the person has blocked me. Because, you know, I'm that person who has to go out of the way to make friends. So it's kind of like, I'm sick of sitting at the kiddie table. You know what I'm saying? I want people to, I'm not saying I want people to get on their knees and be like, oh, Stephen, I'm so sorry. I'm saying, you know, it would be nice every once in a while if someone came up to me and apologized, you know, for something they said. And everyone, you have to realize everyone has their own quirks. So, you know, it's easy to misinterpret something, especially over the internet. So if you say something, it may not directly be in the context you thought it was in. And that, you know what, the same goes in real life. People don't realize it, but it happens a lot more often than you think. You'll say things that honestly have 3 or 4 different meanings. If you think about it really hard. I find this happens a lot when I'm saying things like, as a compliment. They'll take it the wrong way. You know, like for instance, I told my friend she had skinny arms. I didn't mean to imply that, you know, her body was fat, but like, you know, she just had skinny arms, you know. It was a compliment. She had pretty skinny arms, you know, the type of, like, how she looked. Okay. I guess I'll never know if I'm mean or not. You know, I don't think I'm mean. I like to joke around. I like to, you know, I like to pick at people. Moving on, Facebook drama, Facebook drama, Facebook drama. And then cue in the slow-mo with my face, like, you know, where it zooms in my face, it's really slow. Facebook drama. God, I fucking hate that. You know what? I hate that. I think it's stupid, it's annoying, and I want to click off the fucking video when people do that. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? They zoom in like this and they're like, Facebook drama. Jesus Christ. Like, strangle me now. Like, seriously, when people do that. Anyway, on to the topic. As I said, I don't have very many friends. I have, like, no friends. So I focus on Facebook because that's how I get most of my... What's the word I'm looking for? Most of my social... I can't think of it, but you know, you need to talk to people. Damn it, what the fuck am I thinking of? Well, let's just say I get, like, the social side of my brain fulfilled, okay? Like, that's the easiest I can explain it. I'll think of it in a minute. But anyway, I had a friend on there. He's my best friend. And this is kind of where the topic's coming from. Like, he's not my friend anymore. And it's fucking bullshit, because, you know, he says a lot of things to me, very brash things, you know. We were a lot alike. We probably still are, more than I think. You know, he says a lot to me. And just this one particular day, you know, it's not like I've been getting kicked around for 4 full years, you know. It's kind of like, you know, he says some things, and I say some things every once in a while, and we usually make up. But this time, I was kind of pissed off. I'm like, he told me to shut the fuck up over the internet, and I was all like, dude, what the hell's your problem? I wouldn't say that type of stuff to you. And he told me to say, and then he told me to shut the fuck again, and then I freaked. Let me go a little back and explain myself a little bit. My friend, I've been friends with him for 4+ years, you know, really good friends, we talk a lot, or we did talk a lot, and he got into a fight with another one of my friends. And he got into a fight because, my friend, the one I've known for 4+ years, he was coming down off, like, weed, right? And if you ever came down off weed, you know how it kind of makes your brain addled. Like, you get all fucky, kind of very paranoid. Like, those paranoia symptoms, like, they aren't just tacked on for show, alright? When you're coming off that shit, it's bad. You think everyone's out to fucking get you. But anyway, the other friend said something to my ex-best friend. Ex-best friend. Like, we had a, like, strong relationship. Well, we did, but, you know. Well, anyway, he said something to the best friend I'm, you know, not friends with anymore, and I started sticking up for the other guy, because the other guy is 13 years old, and I made my friend quote it, and the way he quoted it, like, my friend, he took it out of context. So finally, you know, this is what I'm talking about, where, like, I really stick my neck out for people. Like, I'm really keen on giving, like, extra chances. I guess, like, I'm a person who likes to fix other people's problems. Maybe. It ends up getting me in trouble, like in this situation. So anyway, he said he wouldn't forgive the guy, and I kept, you know, going. And, like, you know, he kind of was acting like, you know, he was just gonna throw the guy out like a paper cup. And so finally, at the very end, I'm like, alright, dude, I'm done. But, like, I had to add on this one last thing, because I was in this mood where, you know, I'm sick of going out of my way for my friends and them really not budging me back. It's like talking kind of to the wall. It's like, you know, it takes, you know, 2 people to converse like adults here, you know? When you have one person talking like an adult and you have another person coming down off a fucking drug, you know? You see what I'm saying here? Like, I was sitting on my ass the whole time. In the fucking corner getting the shit kicked out of me, basically. So anyway, He basically told me to shut the fuck up. Because, oh, wait, excuse me. Going back, I said, you know, like, alright dude, I'm done talking, but I just hope that when the time comes and we get in that one fight, that you won't just completely, utterly block me. Because what he ended up doing to the guy after he said that one sentence is, he didn't say anything, he just blocked the motherfucker, and he blocked him on Xbox Live, he blocked him on Facebook, he blocked him on, like, you know, this online game, he just straight up blocked him. Like, he didn't even care if what the guy said was taken out of context. You know, he just threw him away kind of like a paper cup. And don't think that, like, oh, this was just this one occurrence. That's what this guy does. That's what my friend does. If you say something that, you know, he doesn't like, he'll just block you for no fucking reason. And, like, after I said that, he told me to shut the fuck up, and he said, like, a bunch of other things. I can't really remember. He deleted it. And all of a sudden, like, I was just like, dude, like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, I don't say that shit to you. Can't we, like, you know, like, what the fuck? And, like, he just kept going on, and, like, finally I started fighting with him. I'm like, dude, you need to calm the fuck down because you're obviously coming off a drug right now. And he's like, oh, blah, 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 marijuana's not a fucking drug. And I'm like, dude, you know, that's fucking bullshit. It's a drug. It's a drug. So finally he told me to shut the fuck up again. Then he called me a cunt. And then I said, it's a drug, you're the fucking cunt. And then he blocked me. You know, if I wouldn't have been blocked, I still would have been fighting with him. You know, like, what does that idiot think pills are made from? You know, like regular fucking Tylenol and shit. It's fucking plants. They crush those fucking fuckers up. And they make them into a goddamn pill form. That's a fucking drug. The fuck does he think he's smoking? Plants are drugs. That's how they make drugs. That's how they make the pills. When that idiot goes in the fucking under his fucking counter and he gets a thing of aspirin or Tylenol and he takes it, that was a fucking plant. So moving on to other Facebook drama. There's this one girl, and she's completely ignoring me, you know. She doesn't, I don't know if she realizes, but I'm really fucking busy, you know. I don't have the time I used to have, you know. I try to stay on and I try to talk to people as long as I can, you know. I try to say what I can, but, like, I have other things to do, and oftentimes I'll, you know, get struck in the middle of a conversation. I'll be like, you know, I'll say something. I mean it at the moment, you know, and I try to sincerely mean what I say. But it just ends up like I just don't end up talking to the person for a while, and then, you know, I go back and I talk to them like, hey, what's going on? No response. So I don't know what's going there. I don't know what's going on there, you know. Something, you know, I think high schoolers don't understand is, you know, it's not, you don't get a lot of time when you're out of high school. Like, you're fucking busy. That's kind of like why I hate high school. Never did like high school. Well, I did gain a friend back. This is a real life friend. Oh my god, Steven, friend count, 0. Bink, now it's 1. 1 friend. Yippee-ki fucking A. You know, and I don't count friends as, like, how normal people do. You know, if that was the case, like, oh man, I'd have 10 fucking friends. Like, yeah, I know the people. But, like, are they my fucking friends? Like, no. Like, there's a difference between acquaintances and friends. Like, hell, I could tack on friends for all those fucking acquaintances and have, like, 15 plus friends. It's just not the case. So yeah, I did gain a friend back. I don't know if it's really, you know, that profound of a relationship as it was. I don't know if it'll ever be, you know, as big as a friendship as it was, but I guess I'm glad that I do have one friend back. So Steven, you've been complaining all about everything so far. What is the good? Well, I'm glad you asked, Steven, and people who probably don't care about what the good is and probably haven't watched 25 minutes of a video. I'm going to college this upcoming Monday, so that's kind of good. It's not like I'm scared or anything. I'm a little bit nervous, but I feel like everyone has to kind of go through this. You know, it's just something that you kind of have to go through, especially if you want to get to college nowadays. College. Why do I get the fucking feeling that everyone is going to college, and because of it, like, I don't know. I realize you have to go to college, but it's like, college is growing. Like, are there gonna be jobs? Like, one of the things I've been thinking of is, nursing, okay? They say, like, oh man, there's so many jobs opening up for nursing. You know, nursing is like the biggest fucking thing, okay? Think about this for a minute. I'd say like 70% of the women going to college are going to be nurses. All those jobs, you know, and there's a lot of people going to college now. They're going to be gone. Like, I can just see it. Like, all these women are just trying to become nurses, and it's like, you know, those jobs are there, but they're, you know, there's not that many jobs. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. This is just like a small theory of mine. And the theory is that there's not as much nursing jobs as we think. You know, or there could be. Hell, I don't know. That's just my theory. My theory is that there's a lot of people trying to become, a lot of women trying to become nurses. And my theory is that it's not gonna hold. So, yeah. That's about it about what the good is. And yes, I am reading off of paper because I'm trying to keep my thoughts organized. Okay, this last little thing is just like miscellaneous shit. And it's just pretty much about, like, just how antisocial am I. Now, when you think about the word antisocial, and you think that it's a person who has little to no social skills, it's actually the complete opposite. It's actually a person with great, I'd like to say, speaking abilities, and like no social skills. And I really think that's kind of like where I fit in. I feel antisocial. Now, it's a tough thing to say. It's a tough thing really to talk about, or even for even a psychologist to admit, oh, okay, you're antisocial. You're not really antisocial until you've, like, broken the law. But, you know, I don't really want to get into that. I just would like to say I'm antisocial because, you know, I'm sitting here and I'm talking to you guys just fine. And yet I have a problem keeping, you know, friends. If that's not antisocial, then what is it? It's antisocial. Like, I'm devoid of friends. I have an absence of many types of social skills. You know, it all here, you know, it's like, I don't want to say it's a facade. I want to say that, like, it's a mask of some sort. I want to say, like, I present myself as a very approachable person, and then when you come up to me and approach me, it's like, you know, it's a very thin mask. You know, shit isn't a movie. You know what I'm saying? Also, you know, the biggest thing is I have a debilitating effect on others. Okay, I've really thought about this. And now what that means is that my effect on another person gradually weakens, if that makes any sense. Now, to put that into not contrast, not retrospect, to put that into, it's another word for an example. Oh well, I can't fucking think of the word. God damn it, I hate that. Anyway, just to give you an example of really what I'm trying to talk about is, I could have a really strong bond at first, but you know, eventually that bond weakens. And it's not even because of me or him. It's just that, you know, fuck on, I don't even know what I'm trying to say anymore. I'm just trying to say that, you know, like, I lose my friends. No matter who, I've been friends with people for like 8+ years, you know, lost them. And I think that's what makes me antisocial. I'm willing to do things, you know, crazy and out there. You know, I'm a daredevil. I like to live. I like to do crazy things. I really like I want to say the thrill-seeking behavior. I live off it, kind of. And I guess just at one point, you know, I have this effect on people where it's like, I don't know, it's tough to explain. I'm missing certain social skills. And like, when you're friends with someone for years and years, and you realize that those crucial social skills to help maintain a friend aren't there, it really starts to show. It's kind of like, you can only fool someone so many times before they, you know, before it's like shame on me, shame on you, blah, you know, and so on and so forth. But you can only pull someone's chain long enough. You can only kind of poke someone long enough, screw with someone long enough before, you know, it's not that it starts to get annoying, but as you pull on that chain, it starts to get weaker. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like how I maintain relationships. I maintain relationships by kind of, you know, making things more lively. You know, doing things with people. Talking about certain things with people. Like sharing secrets with people, you know. Like it makes me think that, you know, I don't have the social skills to really carry me through, you know, a really strong relationship. It's very, very tough to explain. The only way I can really explain it is antisocial. You know, it's like, I put up with a lot, okay? And there's this facade. I have the facade, and I have this ability to take a lot from people. You know, and I also have this unfortunate ability to really get under people's skins and, I guess, mess with people. You know, to kind of make things more fun. You know, I like to joke around with people, you know. And it really plays against me, because at one point I need to shut it off. It doesn't really shut off. I don't like the boring. I don't like the dull. It's tough. I wish I could keep a friend. You know, I go back and I think about all the things, you know. And it's that one point in time where I just snap. You know, I've been putting up for, you know, not abuse. I've been putting up for certain things for a while. You know, things you say to me, you know. We've had all these normal conversations. Well, why do I snap? It's not that I'm bipolar. It's not that I'm crazy. It's not that I'm mean. It's that I get upset too. And I'm giving this facade off that we're like, I don't get upset. Okay? I do. I get upset. And, you know, when we get into a fight all for those 6+ years, you know, I'm your friend. Guess who's the first one to come back and apologize? This poor fucker right here. This poor sucker. Now, the breaking point is where I get pissed off, and okay, you know, like, it's your turn. Hello, are you there? It's your turn. Oh, what, that's it? You're just gonna throw me away like a fucking paper cup? Like, we're not friends anymore? You're not gonna give me the benefit of the doubt for once? And, like, there. You know, that's me in a nutshell, people. Like, it's all the problems I have. You know, I'm not a likable person. I'm an antisocial person. I say bad things. I say mean things. I don't mean them. I regret them. And this video has gone on long enough. Thank you for watching. Please share, like, subscribe, all that hoo-ha. Because you know, I'm going to start saying that. You know, it helps. Hypnotism. You see that Coca-Cola shit on the TV, what do you want to do, you know, 2 weeks from now? You want to buy Coca-Cola. It's hypnotism. It's a psychology. It's marketing. It's all of those things. Goodbye.